Hello and welcome to a session I'm calling Opener Fusion for Body and Mind. Opener because sometimes we feel a little stuck or stagnant. We really need some openers, some chest openers, some hip openers, some heart openers to feel like we can start flowing and moving with the speed of our lives. I am also incorporating some essential oils, a peppermint, and another oil called Thieves, which is really good for immune boosting because sometimes when you feel stuck or low, it really affects our immune system. You will also need a chair for a few closing moves and perhaps a pillow. I'm beginning with the peppermint oil, tapping it on my shoulders, rubbing it together, and taking a few deep inhales and exhales. Total body stretch, reaching arms overhead and stretching legs out nice and long. We'll take a few deep inhales and exhales here, feeling the sensation of the total body stretch from fingers to toes. And now open the arms into a T shape, stretch across the chest in front of the shoulders, and take the head side to side. Release any tension, tightness, stiffness in the neck area. I am pet sitting in Chile, and this is my buddy, personal trainer, Balu, who will be watching and maybe joining throughout the session. Reach the arms and legs up to the ceiling and circle ankles and wrists 10 times one direction and reverse the other way. Get that circulation flowing differently throughout your body. Things are moving around. And bottoms of the feet together. Let's hold on to those feet as we rock side to side. Drop the feet to the mat and let's drop the knees side to side, twisting and breathing. Cross the legs and drop both legs over to one side. Opposite hand is on top of that top leg, and the other arm is going to draw circles overhead, reaching away 4 times. So we keep that twist active. Drop the knees over to the other side, take a breath here, and then cross the other leg over, opposite hand on top, look away from the twist, and then draw big circles with that T-shape arm. Bring it forward and sweeping overhead, open to a T. And 4 times, just letting legs stay in that deep twist. Release back to center. Reach the arms up to the ceiling and we'll do some pelvic tilts and pelvic tucks. Arching the low back away from the mat and then melting the low back into the mat as we drop tailbone down and lift tailbone up. Connect this to your inhale and your exhale. And next time you tuck the tailbone up, let's float the hips up into bridge. Press the feet down, point the kneecaps forward. Hands on the hips, and we're going to twist, dropping one hip higher than the other and just shifting side to side, rocking through the pelvis. One hip high, one hip dips low, and we switch and switch and switch and switch. Shoulders plant down. Lowering hips down, let's hug the knees in, rocking from side to side. And hands to the back of the legs. Let's rock up to a balance and roll through the spine, rolling like a ball. Find a brief balance at the top and then roll back to those shoulder blades. This is a great move to start energizing our body and mind. Hold here at the top. Reach the arms as you maintain that tabletop balance. Little smile if you can. We'll lift the heart up a little higher. And then drop heels down, space behind you on your mat. Stretch arms forward and moving from your spine, we're going to round back into a C curve as we roll down halfway and come back up, shoulders on top of hips. Exhale back, inhale up. Now bend those elbows a little wider so fingertips touch and try another 4. Stay back with this next one. Maintain the C curve, heels down, and let's twist side to side, looking over that back shoulder. Incorporate some breathing, some exhales and exhales as you twist and twist. Pull the belly button in, back a little deeper before coming on up to a seated position. You might want a pillow to sit on top of. Bottoms of the feet together. Nice little hip opener here, letting the knees drop out to the side. And we're going to drop the ear to the shoulder and then switch other side. Let a little bit of natural rocking or leaning occur in the body. And hold the ear, drop to the shoulder, and looking down and up a few times. Take it to the other side, hold the ear drop, and add the looking down and up. Just getting any kinks out of the neck throughout the shoulders. Come back to the center. And let's fold over those legs a little deeper if we can. Maybe the palms can walk out in front. Breathing in deeply. Exhale, coming back up again. Extend one straight leg out to the side. Flexed foot. Let's side bend over that straight leg. Side bends are such good mood boosters. They open up a lot of tightness through the side body, shoulder and hip. Send breath into the ribs. Come back to the center and try repositioning that bent knee. First by placing the foot flat down into the mat, knee up, and then maybe folding the leg behind you. Opposite hand is going to sneak underneath that bent leg to wrap around the calf muscle, dropping shoulder lower to the same side knee as we reach up and overhead. And this might make you connect top fingers to bottom toes as you breathe into that binded shape. Let the energy flow, let the blood circulate. Stay calm throughout whatever sensations you're experiencing. And we'll look down and up. Inhale, bring it back up to the center. Good job. Take a big breath here. That straight leg is going to fold in front now. And reach the arms into a T shape as we twist from side to side. Let the legs stay in place. Move from your waistline. Let the gaze follow the twist. To the center, let's open palms up and palms down into the back. From the shoulders, reach the arms longer and rotating up and down. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, let's fold forward over those legs. Elbows may drop, palms may walk out, forehead may lower. Breath is fluid. Inhale back up. Let's extend the second leg out to the side. Foot flexed, open those arms. Sit right on top of the sitting bones and let's side bend over the straight leg. Keep top shoulder stacked on the bottom shoulder. Can close the eyes here if you prefer. Send the breath into the side body, the ribs, shoulders, and hips. Let the exhale be a little bit more relaxing. That bent knee, we're going to reposition. Foot first flat on the floor, knee up. And if it feels okay in the knee, we're going to fold that leg back and behind you. Using my hands to press down to the ground to lift my hips up so opposite hand can weave itself underneath the bent knee, wrapping around that calf muscle. Dropping shoulder to the bottom knee as top arm sweeps up and overhead. And maybe some contact, bottom toes to top fingertips. Breathe in the bind. Stay calm. Let the sensations energize you. There is stillness, but there is not stuckness. Breath is flowing, blood is moving, things are circulating. You are evolving. And on your next inhale, we'll bring it back to the center. That straight leg is going to fold in front. Open the arms to a T shape, palms up. Return to those twists, those rotations where the legs stay still, center body instigating the twist from side to side. Come back to the center and from the shoulders, rotate the entire arm, palm, fingertips back and up. Each time getting longer and longer. Lift to the sky and fold with length over the legs. Walk the palms forward. Option to drop the elbows down. Sink into gravity, feel supported by the earth. Inhale slowly, back to center. We move into our next starting position, hands and knees. Hands under the shoulders. Let's round into cat, arch into cow. Round and drop the head, and arch and lift the heart, the chest. Exhale, drop the tail. Inhale, lift the tailbone and sitting bones. Move from one extreme to the other. Walk the hands further forward so the hips drop forward in front of the knees and try a set of cat and cows from here. Your cow shape is going to move towards an upward dog as the hips drop forward and the heart lifts up. Exhale, drop the head, move the hips back. Inhale, drop the hips forward and lift the collarbone up. Creating more openness, for our hips, shoulders, lubricating the spine. Let's stay in a modified up dog as we look from side to side, keeping neck mobilized. And lowering all the way down. Let's press on up into a swan. Legs a little wider than the hips, toes are softly pointed. Exhale, we're pressing up, keeping a little bit of strengthening in this movement for energy. And let the exhale bring in some balance, some relaxation, some letting go. Stay at the top, again looking side to side and up to the sky. Nice opener for the hips and abdomen. And let's press up and back. If you want, you can bring a pillow under the knees, sit to the heels, drop the forehead into child's pose. Reach the arms, extend the arms overhead, and allow for a gentle stretch in the shoulders and chest, also in the back and glutes. Reach the arms to one side. The arm that's closest to the center is just going to hold on to the other forearm. More stretch in the shoulders. More openness in the lats, chest, rear delt. Well, take it to the other side. And bring it back to the center. Let's move into plank pose. Open this up into side plank. Shoulders stacked, hips stacked. Heels are popped. Reach the arm up to the sky and then overhead. Balance, stay calm as you breathe. Let's take it back to center. Find your plank pose for an inhale and exhale. Other side, let's stack the shoulders and hips. If you need to bend the bottom or top knee, of course, you can modify. Otherwise, look up and reach that top arm overhead as the hips keep lifting. And return to center plank. Hands under shoulders. Pike the hips high. Let's find down dog. I'm keeping the arms straight and shrugging and depressing the shoulders. So shoulders move towards the ears and away from the ears, but keeping arms straight so elbows are unchanged. Legs are straight. Shaking out the head from side to side. Nodding the head. Being positive, saying yes even when you're upside down. Drop and lift heels to one side and switch to the other. And then come into a seated, low kneeling position. Moving into our second oil, for me this is the Thieves, and I'm just rubbing it into the palm, breathing in deeply. Exhale, let it sink and settle in. Another deep breath. Exhale, let it have its effect. And I'm just tapping on the third eye, the space between the eyebrows with some residual oil on the fingertips. About 20, 30, maybe 40 times. Keep breathing. Inhale, take one big super step forward, knee on top of ankle into a lunge position. We're going to shift the hips back and forward as that front leg extends and bends. Head and neck going along for the ride, so we'll look down as we sit back and look forward as we lunge, bending into the front knee. Hip opener. When we pay attention to our hips and give them a little bit of movement and stretch, we can actually start to shift how we feel in our body and in our mind. Bring both hands down now, and I'm just dropping hips and lifting hips, adding some rotation, looking over that shoulder to the back foot, breathing in. And then let's switch leg number 2. Big, big, big step forward so that the hips are actually dropping down and forward. Duo action, down and forward. From this starting point, we're going to shift hips back, straightening the front leg, flexing the foot, and then back into that lunge, looking forward or even upwards, and shifting back and forward. Inhale and exhale. Let the hips release tightness, tension, stress. Twisting from side to side, letting those hips rock or lean from side to side, looking over that back shoulder. Letting the front foot rock from big toe to baby toe. And bring it back. Coming down onto your front body in a prone position. Let's stretch those arms overhead like a total body stretch we began in, only on our stomach. Fold the hands, forehead rests on top, bend the knees, flex the feet, and we're going to move into a wishbone exercise. Keep the knees pressing together as we separate the lower legs and bring them back together. About 10 or 12 times, open and close. When you open, the knees press together. Now lengthen the legs, take the arm and opposite leg above the ground and do little pulses up and down, creating length and strength. Hold and reach longer at the top and switch sides. Other arm and opposite leg, point the toes, float them above the ground and try little pulse, pulse, lengthen, lengthen, reach, reach, abs engaged. About 8 times, hold at the top, a little bit more. Accentuate the stretch and then return to your wishbone number 2. As the feet and lower legs separate, you're pressing the inner knees together. Exhale, open. Exhale, open. Keep feet flexed, pulling toes down to the ground. Feet right on top of the knees. Go for about 10. And release, legs back behind you. Bring arms by the side, palms into the ground. We're going to bend one knee and then the opposite leg is going to extend straight, lifting above the ground. This is just a preparation move for our next hip flexor opener. It's kind of a fun move if you can coordinate and add these 2 moves together. Chin is going to come into the ground, palms press. One leg is straight up to the sky and the other knee is bent, with that bottom foot supporting the top leg. Breathe into the hip opener, quadricep, and abdominals. And slowly, with control, release it down. Try the other side. Bend the other knee, and then the opposite leg lifts straight, floating above the ground. Bend, and other leg lifts and lengthens. Now, both those legs are going to do the same thing at the same time. Chin comes right to center. And we prop that top leg on the bottom foot. Stay calm. Breathe into the hips and legs and glutes and back. Palms press for support. These openers and unique moves can start to shift how we feel in our body and mind. And then let's just recover, stacking hands, resting forehead, and swaying the legs side to side. So any tightness, tension, stress that may have built up from that last move, we're just shaking it out, or in this case, rocking it out. And last set of the wishbones. Flex the feet, relax the shoulders, and start to open those lower legs as you press the inner knees together. Sometimes this can correct some misalignment throughout the hips and pelvis. Relax glutes, relax abdominals, and lengthen the legs back behind you. Crossing at the ankles, bend the knees. Let's tighten the tummy and just push our way up and back into child's pose. Rest and recover. Take a few deep breaths. Might need a pillow here. For the final few moves, we are going to incorporate a chair. Chest opener, shoulder opener, and then a nice low back QL release. Reaching the arms, the forearms, the palms, just on top of the chair, keeping hips on top of the knees. We're going to allow the chest to drop. You can curl the toes into the ground if you like. We're going to let the head drop, the forehead drop, and get a deep stretch through the arms, shoulders, chest, lats. Shoulder blades are closer together. You're letting the spine arch. Tailbone up. Send some breath in here. Take a nice deep inhale. This is a big chest opener, shoulder opener, heart opener. When we are anxious, emotional, we get very tight and tense in these muscle groups across our upper body, our neck, shoulders, chest muscles. So with this conscious, intentional position, we are sending breath in, letting it go, being okay, even smiling if we can. Slowly coming up and out of it, maneuvering as close as you can to that chair with your hips and tailbone so that you can fold the legs, the lower legs, just over that chair. So you're not holding your legs up, you're just letting them be supported by the chair. Bending at my elbows, I'm placing fingertips just at my low back so that I can send breath in to this area. Inhale and try to breathe into this low back, back of the rib cage, sacrum, tailbone, lumbar spine area. As you inhale, expand the ribs wider. And as you exhale, feel the ribs gently pull in closer. Relax the legs, the quadriceps, the glutes and hips. Relax the abdomen. You can close the eyes. Just extending the arms into the ground, palms up, a little bit of space away from the body. Keep breathing. Keep dropping breath and focusing on the expansion and contraction of the ribs. diaphragmatic breathing. Soften the low back, so with each exhale, the low back melts closer and closer into the mat. This move is really beneficial for low back issues, hip issues. Staying for 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 minutes. Settle into the rhythm of the breath. It takes a while for the legs to let go, to relax and release. Keep breathing. Keep centering. Keep thinking a happy thought, a grateful thought, or nothing at all. Clear your mind. Stay calm and open to the stillness, to this wellness. To this mental health break for as long as you need, bringing some balance and some harmony between your mind and body. And thank you very much for joining me. Until next time.